Good morning, everyone. I'm Caroline Rena from the Ride of My Life podcast, and I am in West Palm Beach, Florida again for one more day. I'll be leaving tomorrow to head up to North Carolina, and I try not to shake this too much, but it's tricky. Anyway, so today I wanted to talk about stress again, but finding a positive trigger, which is what I call it, to trigger you back into calmness. And one of the positive triggers I always look into when I need to get calm again, or I'm like, there's something going on and my body is just reacting to it. And what's interesting that I'm finding is that, like, just as a side note, is that since I've been doing the healing work, at this point in my life, the reactions have only been coming from my body. Like, I can see what's going on and logically know and watch and observe that it's not real, I guess, so to speak. But when my body gets involved in it and I start getting anxious, my body gets anxious, my nervous system gets anxious. And people who have been traumatized have this body response. It's a stress response. And the anxiousness, from my understanding, is the need to either fight or flee. And when we don't have that option in the moment to do that, the body starts to take over, and it's like, and you can get anxious. And I'm sure it does a couple of other things. In the moment, I'm not thinking about that right now. But what I wanted to share with you is that there are ways to get out of that anxiousness. Walking, which I'm doing right now, to get the body moving, so the body feels like it's in flight, escaping, whatever that looks like for you. So walking or running. I don't prefer to run, but sometimes I'll do a short, whatever, just to get some extra energy out. I've done a whole bunch of different things. I have like a pretty interesting list for my toolkit of things that I use that I'm also going to be hopefully adding to and sharing with you. Some of the stuff I can't really share on a video. I'm going to do my best to figure out how that's going to work. So anyway, today's version of my toolkit is finding a positive trigger, and nature is a positive trigger. Now, you might think you have to go out into the middle of nowhere, which would be great, but a lot of us can't do that because we live in the city or whatever. And so I'm going to give a perfect example right now of what that would look like living in a city. So you can see like the sky and the trees and the air is there, and I'm right next to a lake, but I'm also in a neighborhood. And I'm going to continue this and show you what this looks like. So here's just an example of being in a neighborhood but still being with nature. And this neighborhood butts up into West Palm Beach. And if you recognize this, don't tell anybody where I am. But anyway, I'll go back to me. Hold on. The time spent alone, which not a lot of us will get. And that's so important, actually. I mean, I've talked about isolation, that's not good, but spending time alone when you're constantly around people is important to just reconnect with yourself. So doing a walk like this, what I normally do is I'll put my headphones in and I'm out, and this is the perfect time of year where everybody wants to move down to Florida. So it's like, I think 74 degrees out right now. It's beautiful. And of course, there's the sun. I don't want to blind you, but it's just beautiful here. So I just do my walk. I let go of thoughts. Thoughts will pop in because, like I've explained before, I have a very analyzing, processing brain, so it doesn't always go away, but I'll put on some calming music or listen to motivational talks or whatever, or a book, whatever you choose, just something, whatever it works for you. And it's always about what works for you, not what works for somebody else. And that's the challenge that I think a lot of us have, is that we see what works for somebody else, and sometimes it doesn't work for us, and it gets frustrating that it's not working for us. So that's the point of doing your own healing work, is to find what works for you. And that's so important, because we've been taught to constantly think about other people. And yesterday I did, or within the last couple of days, I did a podcast about codependency and selfishness. And in order to help other people and give time to other people, especially the ones that need it, it's the ones that the challenge can be, and I mentioned this, is the ones that don't, that just take your time and you give it to them. And that's kind of what codependency is. And I know this from my own personal experiences. And so the point here is, when things get to be just overwhelming and you're recognizing that you can't take it anymore, this is something you can do to self-care and just be with yourself and take care of yourself. And if you can't sit in your own thoughts, or you have trouble going inside and just meditating, listening to music because things get rough, just listen to something motivating, and then gradually get used to finding different ways to help yourself to walk through, because you're going to find things eventually. You try all these different things, and eventually you'll find things that will help you. And this is one of the things that helps me. So that's why I wanted to share it, because hopefully this could be one of yours, So anyway, I think that with transitions in your life, and I also have an upcoming interview next week that I'll be posting with Trisha K. Williams. She's from Canada. She's a counselor there, and you'll find out more about it next week. I may post something just, with her information on it, or I might just post the video. I don't know that yet. It depends on my travels, because like I said, I'm going to be driving again, so I don't know what that's going to look like. But just to share that with you guys, and her experience, and her what she did to help herself, and what she does to help others. And this is going to be hopefully it will. Interviews, I love interviews. So I love putting people out there and showing other people all these people that are just helping people. I mean, we see so much bad news all the time, and that tends to stress us out. So nature's a good place to be. But when we know that there are people out there who can help, who can support, then we also know that there's somebody there for us when we can't get through something on our own, and it took me a long time to figure that out. And I just wanted to share these amazing people that I've been meeting that can help, can be there to support. And I'm telling you, this is just an experiment, it's just an experiment with my journey, sharing it with you, however you figure out how you want to take your journey. Reach out to me. I can do work with you if you choose. It's whatever you want, whatever you feel called to, But here, I mean, listen, you're hearing the wind, and this is a glorious day. And I'm so grateful I get to be here and do this, even if it's just for this one day. Hey everyone, I'm back, and I'm actually coming from North Carolina, where it's 52 degrees right now, but it's beautiful sunny skies. And I had some technical difficulty, so I wasn't able to put this video together until I'll be doing it today, obviously. And so just wanted to say thank you. and hope you keep watching. I'm working on putting out these interviews, and these people that I've met are absolutely incredible. So hopefully you'll enjoy them. Just like I've already actually done a couple of interviews. One with Vince Bolito, and one with Noel News. So you can take a look at those, and I've got the next one coming out this week. So probably Wednesday. So anyway, like I said, welcome to North Carolina now, and preparing, just getting organized and prepared, and continuing to fix the car up in the way that I want to do it, and figure out where I'm going to be going next and when. So anyway, wherever you are, have a beautiful moment, and that's it. So take care. Bye-bye.